In a recent turn of events, it was revealed that the entertainment president of Fox, Michael Thorne, is wide open to the idea of a revival of Firefly.
Everything looks good from here. Yes. Yes.
The talk had apparently reached a high enough concept level for them to look at the airing schedule and think that it would make sense for them to air two space shows at the same time. This was when they were airing The Orville, which they did up until April of 2019. It wouldn't be the same show though, since they'd reinvented it to resonate as well with the viewers of today as it did with the viewers of its time. Plus, many of the actors that starred in Firefly are busy with new projects, and unless they do limited series, it might be hard to get them on board. But there is a possibility of a reboot of sorts. Firefly was a sci-fi series about the crew on board the Firefly-class starship Serenity, and it had the technology of a sci-fi series with the earthly aesthetics of a Western-themed show. The show looked very interesting, and it had a main cast consisting of lovable and weird characters. In the first episode, we learned that the ship's main crew, Mal, Zoe, Wash, Jane, and Kaylee, are smugglers who are struggling with the upkeep of the ship, so they decide to take on passengers. Inara, Simon, River, and Book. They all end up finding themselves at home, and the family they forge is at the core of the series. The plot is about the adventures they go on together as thieves with hearts of gold, and the people from the past they show up to make life hard for them.
Sir, we don't want to deal with patients again.
Why not?
She shot you.
The show was cancelled in a pretty brutal way because it was taken off the air before all the produced episodes had been broadcast. Out of the 14 episodes, only 11 were shown in its original run.
Didn't go wrong on our end, so why don't we start again with you telling us what's up?
Fox have a history of being kind of vague when giving the reasons for a cancellation. And a typical theme that runs through their history is stating that a show has a dwindling number of viewers. While it is true that a lot of their shows eventually experience dwindling numbers, because that is the nature of TV in general, it's hardly fair to say that it's all because of the shows themselves. There's a Wikipedia article about the Friday night death slot, which is the name for the time slot on Fridays where the view count is notoriously low due to people being out having lives. Firefly was aired during this time slot, and not only that, they aired the episodes out of order.
And you got a pattern?
The one I referred to earlier as the first episode wasn't actually aired as the first episode, even though it introduced its characters and the reasons for being on board Serenity. The fact that the episodes were aired out of order obviously made it a lot harder for people to follow the story. People thought they'd missed an episode because of this.
Let me do the math here.
It's basically like asking someone to finish a jigsaw puzzle without giving them any of the edge pieces. The marketing of the show is also notorious for having been very misleading. It was misleading to the point where it probably attracted people who absolutely hated what Firefly turned out to be, and drove away people who would have actually enjoyed it. From what it seems, Firefly was also fighting on viewers with season 4 of Farscape, which is unfortunate since they kind of attract the same kind of viewers. The shows attract the same kind of viewers to such an extent that if you look at a page about Farscape, you are likely to see Firefly in the suggestions and vice versa. It was a battle of viewers that ultimately and unfortunately resulted in no winner, as the seasons airing were the last one for both of them.
May have been the losing side. Still not convinced it was the wrong one.
Partly because of the unfortunate time slot, and partly because it was aired opposite Farscape. A lot of the people who absolutely love Firefly didn't actually discover it until after it had already been cancelled, which is how a series cancelled due to having too few viewers ended up having a fanbase still going strong 18 years after it was taken off the air.
It's a very loyal crew you have there.
For a long time I was rooting for season 2 of Firefly, as one does when a show you love is taken off the air before it's accomplished what it set out to. But the more I thought about it, the harder it became to ignore Serenity's overshadowing presence in the series universe. And I do mean the movie, not the ship. A lot of Firefly fans love Serenity and consider it the best thing that could have happened to the series after the cancellation. My personal opinion is that it was one of the worst things to happen since they boxed themselves in story-wise. But that's not my main problem with the movie, even though that's bad enough. My main problem with the movie is that it's bad. There, I said it, it's a bad movie. I don't enjoy tear-jerky deaths of main characters, and this movie has two. The movie doesn't at all convey the spirit of what Firefly was, and instead it's a fast-paced action adventure where death lurks around every corner. The series built up to what would probably end in a confrontation with the Reavers, but within the series universe, I have a really hard time imagining that this is what it would amount to. And as bad as the deaths of two main characters are, the thing that really stands out to me about it is that they undid all of River's character development.
I thought she was getting better.
She's somehow back to being the sad sack of confusion she was at the beginning of the series.
I swallowed a bug.
It's almost as if they didn't know how to refer both to her character development and her backstory within the same movie, so they skipped one of them. On top of that, the friendly banter has been replaced by snide remarks, and the female characters that aren't River have been reduced to background noise. The rest of the females are basically the same character, delivering one-liners every now and then.
Well, not that you spit.
It's been said that the new season will probably consist of episodic events with a mixture of new and old characters, and it's not impossible that it would turn out well. It does, however, seem unlikely when taking the weird direction Serenity took into account.
Oh God, we're all gonna die?
The new series could take place on either side of Serenity chronologically and have lots of potential for storylines. Book would most likely not be a part of the adventures, since Ron Glass, who portrayed him, sadly died in 2016. That wouldn't necessarily break anything story-wise though, since it is mentioned in the movie that he left Serenity because it was corrupting him, which was a weird thing to add in a story about the found family. But since it is in the movie, it's canon and can be used as a way of justifying why it's not in the episodic events. So the revival season could technically take place in between the first season and Serenity, and that way they could pretend like they didn't kill off two of the main characters.
This is anger.
So, should it get a new season? I don't really know what to think at this point, because while Serenity left a pretty hard to overcome mark on the story progression, there's not really anything that prevents them from creating episodic events that take place before Serenity, and maybe we'd be able to enjoy stories about the crew despite knowing what becomes of them in the movie. 2 by 2, hands of blue, please give us a season 2. We still care, hear our plea, please bring back Serenity.